Why is... My day's going, oh, wait, yeah, let's have on the other light. That'd be smart, right? In case you were wondering, my other light is my monitor. I use my monitor. The highest class channel on YouTube. The Dark Tower. I've had some kind of like low to medium starts, and then the last entry, the Wastelands, amazing. I thought it was the best entry of the series by far. I absolutely was thrilled with it, like legitimately thrilled, properly using that word. And then I picked up book 5, and you know what? Book 5's still really good. It did a good job continuing the momentum that was earned in the Wastelands. I had a couple people in the comment section that were like, you're not going to like book 5 as much as book 4. You're right, but they seem to have a tone of like, it's bad. It's not. I think it's better than book 1, 2, 3. Not as good as book 4, but still really good. Now, the only thing that I felt kind of cheaped out on. I felt like it was a little rug pulled out from under me. And we're going full-on spoilers right away, boys and girls, because I don't feel like talking about spoiler-free this time. And if you're watching a review for book 5, you're already invested in the series enough. You're probably going to keep going. Who are you kidding? So just spoiler video. You know what? We're talking about spoilers here. And what I have to say here is that the ending of book 4 was very much so a cliffhanger that was meant to keep the reader like craving book 5, and it totally worked on me. I've been burning through books faster so I could get to this book. And then the resolution of that cliffhanger felt a little manufactured. Felt a little like, we're going there, that obvious. The whole like breaking the computer's brain with nonsensical riddles, well, not as like not clever as the end of War Games where they break it with tic-tac-toe. That was like seriously a joke. This wasn't that bad, but it still was like, come on, like, just don't do that, King. It still was a great execution of something that simplistic, but it was rather like, if I was gonna pitch like a joke bad idea to how to resolve that cliffhanger, that would have been it. Anyway, beside that minor nitpick where the cliffhanger felt a little cheap in its resolution, in my opinion, I'm sure there's people who love that resolution to it, the character work is where book 5 really shines the most. Book 4, this party kind of really got going. There was really good chemistry, and especially between Eddie and the gunslinger in book 5, shines all the brighter. I like that this is really starting to feel like a cohesive unit. They have like a nice dynamic between how they solve problems. There's actual like teamwork going on. And we also get some more backstory for the gunslinger, which makes him feel a little more well-rounded as a character and a little less Terminator-esque, because he definitely up until this point has just kind of felt like a murder machine, and getting kind of more of his development, which at first I thought could be bad. I thought, hey, this guy, it might be the less you know, the more is better thing, but no, I liked pretty much every stage of his development, which then brings me to my biggest compliment for The Dark Tower. I'm just as excited for the next book, and this one really didn't end on like a cheapened cliffhanger. I'm excited though because I'm invested in where this group is going. I'm excited because I feel like I'm learning these characters better as people in a very natural, organic way. And it's just different. Like Dark Tower, well, it's not the lightest series, it's not the darkest series. It is complex and beautiful. It's executing a world hopper type narrative very effectively, something that is incredibly hard to do. And overall, I'm feeling it, you know? I'm digging it. It's up my lane, it's down my alley. I'm honestly kind of happy that I've had the experience I've had with Dark Tower up until now, because having the weaker beginning tempered my expectations so that when book 4 came out of left field and was a wonderful surprise, I'm now more excited than ever to keep going, and my expectations are still kind of tempered. I'm realistically assuming maybe they're not going to consistently be as good, but every time they are even close to as good as book 4, I'm going to be thrilled. So it's going to be a nice little healthy relationship I have with Dark Tower going forward. Of course, now we need to talk about Wizard and Glass, the orb, and I found this to be a good execution of what could have otherwise been a total MacGuffin and not interesting at all. I liked that this orb had consequences, and once again helped Roland feel more human than ever. It gave kind of a ominous foreshadowing of why he is the way he is. I mean, telling us that vision is not exactly foreshadowing, it's telling a story, misusing of a term, but you know what I mean. And I'm happy to say that Roland's character developed in a way I didn't think it was possible too. I thought he was set up as this unstoppable crusader archetype and would just be that till the end, but with this very organic humanization of him through Wizarding Glass, I now feel that the stakes are higher than ever going forward. The connections to other Stephen King books, which I've talked about in previous videos, are more obvious and prevalent than ever, and we jump into the remnants of The Stand, it seems, or we don't know exactly when it's happening in the same world, but it's in the same world as The Stand, and there's the whole Randall Flagg Man in Black connection. It's fantastic. Stephen King is building something here on a level I would have never seen coming previously. And then they finally jump into the last real notable place here, which seems to be Wizard of Oz. And actually, I want to compare this to the latest Witcher book I read, which had world hopping as well, which felt more random and nonsensical versus this very random, nonsensical world hopping that the Dark Tower is going through, but still really works at the established narrative, and that's a clear distinction here. Establishing a world and setting where something like world hopping feels like it can take place is very important to have before you start jumping into other existing worlds. Witcher jumps into Arthurian stuff, which I found to be out of left field and awkward. Well, the Dark Tower jumping into an even more well-known cliche world, The Wizard of Oz, just kind of worked. And it's because of Stephen King's ability as an author to manipulate a reader's expectations that really results in this kind of not bothering me. It was great. And then we have the final resolution that Roland is very clearly a toxic person to have around in a party, and he's responsible for the death of many friends and loved ones. And it was good. It could have been an easily corny moment, but with Roland suddenly going from this ominous figure, this unstoppable killing unit, to a more relatable emotional connection character, having this touching moment where everyone agrees to stay with him just made this party, this quartet or whatever it's called in the online fandom, works. And it's a turn in the series I respect immensely. That is my review of Wizard in Glass. It gets a revolver out of 10. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Like and subscribe if you have not already. Hit the Patreon if you want to support the channel and what I do here. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.